Hi there, I'm Jim with First Line Equipment, and today in front of us we have the Elektra leva espresso machine in chrome, known as the S1C. We also have the Ascaso I-Mini grinder, the MCSdb is the model number on that. And today we'll be going over both units, the functionality of the espresso machine and the grinder. When you do get either one, they are packaged with styrofoam on the Elektra, as well as on this, they're packaged independently in two different boxes, the bean hopper in one box and the grinder in another box, which is put into a larger box. Just to go over the Elektra, there is some assembly required. You will find the eagle and the nut inside the foam, embedded in the foam, and there's Elektra tape over it. As well as this handle. So if you think they're missing, don't throw out the styrofoam, because they're actually on the inside underneath the tape. It's really important to remember that, because we've had some customers who threw out the styrofoam and then couldn't find the parts. You also find a portafilter in there. When you receive the machine, this will be in bubble wrap, this drip tray right here, and its cover, and enclosed into this section of the machine. And then here at First Line, we actually remove the steam wand from the valve. The reason is in transit, sometimes this will bend in, so you'll find this in a separate plastic bag. And then we actually take extra precautionary measures by putting blow-up packaging in front of the machine, which is in the plastic bag. When you do get the machine, once you have it set up on your countertop, there's a boiler cap right here. You'll take that off, and you want to make sure that the water level is minimum always 25%. And usually up to about 75–80%. And the reason you want to start at 75 is you can have more water in the boiler, and the machine will be more stable. You'll read some reviews online that says the group head does get hot after the first or second shot. It does, because the water level is dropping, and there's more steam pressure inside the machine. So if you're making 1 or 2 cups, great machine. You can use it for entertaining. It's better than some of the other lever machines that have a smaller boiler, because this one's fairly large. And when it comes to entertaining, the other cups of espresso will become a little hotter. Those should be used for the cappuccinos, the very first ones for espresso. The downside to this machine, it is piping hot. It can scorch you. If you touch the boiler here, even just holding this cover, it is piping hot to the touch. The group head as well. So there's a safety concern. If you have children, might not be the best selection, but if you want the best espresso profile, this is one of the best lever machines to get out in the market for the price point that it's at. The other downside, this lever is spring activated, so it's always in the up position. We need to bring it down to start making espresso, and then the spring pushes the piston down in here to push water through the coffee grinder. We're going to go over that. And that's pretty much on overview on the espresso machine. As far as the Ascaso grinder, this grinder actually doesn't work well with this espresso machine. And where it doesn't work well is actually the portafilter. As you can see, I have this portafilter on the machine, and the machine is nice and hot. This portafilter has to be hot to the touch. Okay, you can't keep your hand around it. We had a customer who bought this setup, and actually there is a workaround. When you're grinding on this grinder here for the Elektra, you actually have to tilt the portafilter to grind the espresso. And as with all doserless coffee grinders or espresso coffee grinders, there's always more of a mess. So dosers better in the regard that there'll be less mess because you can dose it out. The unfortunate part is that you'll have leftover coffee grind. So here you have less leftover, but a little more of a mess. And I'm going to fill this up a little more. And I kind of overfill the basket. I always use a 2-cup on the lever machines, actually all espresso machines. And I'll basically push the coffee around level to the rim of the basket. And I even want to get a little more in here. And I'm not pushing down my finger, I'm just moving it across. Okay, and then the excess I'll just wipe into the dump box back here. And again, portafilter is still nice and hot. I'm going to lock in the portafilter as far over as possible. Again, spring lever activated, so it's important to hold the machine. It's also important not to pull down on this lever when there's no coffee in here, because this lever will spring back up very quickly. So if you do decide to bring it down, make sure you hold it on the way up. If not, it'll just go all over the place. Okay, the cups are not included with the machine, but we're going to use nice Elektra cups, which are an option. And we are going to pull down on the lever, and you hear a little swishing sound coming from the boiler. And this is now pre-infusing the coffee ground. And I'm going to wait till the bottom rim fills up a little bit. Then I'm going to release the lever. And for a double cup, once it comes up to about halfway, I'm going to pull the lever or push the lever back down and quickly release. And there's a couple extra drips in there. Getting a little blonding on this, but still getting a ton of crema. Again, the flavor profile that comes out of an espresso machine, such as an Elektra lever, it's just phenomenal espresso. Now, one thing you can't do on this lever, or pretty much any lever espresso machine, you can't remove the portafilter right away, because if you do, you're going to get an explosion, and you get an explosion because there's no three-way valve. You can't have a three-way valve on a lever espresso machine, so you do need to let it sit for a few seconds. This is just some excess water coming out, coffee coming out. The next step we're going to go over is on the steaming of the milk, so I'll turn the machine around a little bit. A 12-ounce or a 20-ounce pitcher is adequate for this machine. Anything larger may be too much milk. And let's actually turn this over a little bit more. I'm going to hold the pitcher on an angle, and I'm going to open it up here. As you can see on a 12-ounce pitcher, which is about a third full, and I can control the steam pressure with the twist of this knob right here. Okay. One thing I like about this machine is got a little bit of a big bubble here, but there's actually nice thick micro froth underneath that. As far as cleaning the espresso machine, you cannot backflush a lever espresso machine. So the product that we recommend is by Full Circle, brand by Ernex. It's cleaning powder, and basically you run this through into the boiler and through the group head. Now again, you're not going to have coffee, so you need to hold the lever down and then bring it slowly back up to get it to cycle through the group head. This will clean the oils behind the screen, as well as descaling. I like descaling of the machine as well. As far as the steam tip here, just a wet terry cloth and just soak it and wash it in that regard. No abrasives, because you'll remove the chrome plating over the steam wand. Here are the accessories for the machine: useless scoop, tamper, which is not bad. It's actually the only plastic tamper that fits its own espresso machine, and a 1-cup basket, which is actually a paperweight. I don't like 1-cup baskets. As far as the grinder for maintenance, Full Circle by Ernex has coffee grinder cleaning tablets, and this you basically just run through the grinder, and this will clean out the burrs for you. A note on the grinder: if you're changing the settings on this grinder, which actually there is stepless adjustment, you can, when you turn this dial, you should have the grinder running. So press the button in the front and have the grinder running when you're adjusting. The reasoning for that is there are 2 burrs and this one is a conical burr set. When you're adjusting, when it's not running, the grinds that are in between the burrs will actually be compacting against the burr set, and then you'll only be able to grind coarse because the burrs have a compound over it, coffee compound. So always change settings while it's running, with or without beans. If you do run into the problem with this grinder or any other grinder, just take it out to the coarsest setting and then bring it back in finer with coffee beans running in it. Okay, and the bean hopper is removable. And that is pretty much it. Thank you for watching this video at First Line, and we hope one day you can enjoy this espresso machine and this coffee grinder. Have a great day.